the 92nd Academy Awards about to debut later tonight, we thought it'd be fun to take a look at all the Disney Oscar-winning songs thus far and have them compete for ultimate dominance. Will tonight's Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2 nominations stand up to these classics if either wins? Will an old-school Disney song be able to compete with a sleekly produced modern fare? Will three grown men talking about Disney strike a chord on YouTube? And more importantly, will my co-host Kyle Nash go ballistic at our traditional inclusion of the People Mover in our bracket challenge?
Now, Kyle, how do you normally tackle challenge brackets? What do you bring to the game?
Well, it's something a little different for everything. So the closest thing to this would be the James Bond music bracket, which is obviously one of our better ones, not only because of your love of Bond, but there's a lot of good music there too. And for this particular go-round, I don't have my beer handy, so I'll force TJ to drink. The experience of it is certainly part of it. Music is meant to evoke emotion in its most successful form, and for a Disney song to be a Disney song, thank you, sir. Excellent pinky game, by the way. And for a Disney song to be a Disney song, it must evoke a feeling, and what that feeling is and how intense it is going to be the bulk of the points. I also want to be in a position to where these Disney songs aren't something that are indeed enhanced and only made better by the visual experience. There was actually one of the songs tonight that I found comparatively weak when it is outside of its visual companion in the context of the movie. And lastly, something that happened so much in this bracket, and blame the Academy if you want, but I actually have a very special negative modifier in place here. For those songs on this list that were nominated without being the best songs in their movie, they will be getting penalized by me in some form or fashion. And so that is something I will bring up through the night. And at the end of the day, all those things, the experience being the most important thing, but the tie breaks are going to be some of the later things I told you about. That's my point of view going into the Disney music bracket.
Well, first off, you have to take into consideration what I think about the movie. All right, so that plays a part when it comes to me. All right, and then I also want to say, okay, how does the song make me feel? All right, so what's going on in the movie, like Kyle says, the experience makes sense. You know, it makes sense. Like, it has to fit. But now that we know that it fits, how does it make me feel? Does it touch me in a special place? If it does, then it's going to get some points there when it comes to me. So if you can feel the love, I'm giving you a hint, holla at your boy, then I can as well. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm looking forward to doing a very special type of censoring in this episode. But anyway, I'm coming at it as a tiebreaker. I'm here to settle disputes, and I'm coming at it from the perspective of a film critic. With all that said, let's hit up our first round. And just to point out, we're talking about 15 songs here with one special contestant. This is going to be a bloody, rough challenge. You're going to get your Ragnaroks versus Infinity Wars right off the bat here. All right?
Hey, I hope you got some Keystone Light there, TJ. I'm just saying.
I got some White Rock Cola real close.
I see. He's prepared. He's prepared. So first up, we have from Mary Poppins, Chim Chim Cheree, and from Toy Story 3, We Belong Together.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheree. A sweep is as lucky can be. We belong together. We belong together. Yes, we do.
Yeah, so what you basically did was you handed me a box out of some corporate factory and put Randy Newman-like voices in it, okay? I have no idea how this particular song got an Academy Award. In my opinion, this song was thrown into this movie just so there could be a song in it. That's not to say it's a bad song. It's just very cookie cutter, and it landed right because feels. With its visual component hit at home in that movie. Not that I thought the Toy Story 3 was particularly great, but it did a good job of closing the series. But it's not about that. It's about the song. Chim Chim Cheree is a fantastic song and one of the many fantastic songs in that movie. Regardless how you feel about Mary Poppins, one must admit, and he's on film doing it, that the music is the strong part of that film, and this is the strongest among the strong in that movie. I got Chim Chim Cheree this round for it to not make it out of the first round would obviously be a conspiracy of pure spite.
DJ, now we all know how you feel about Mary Poppins, so we're definitely looking forward to the Heartless Monsters reaction.
No, that's perfectly fine, because if Chim Cheree not making it out of the first round is an act of malice and spite, then call me Senor Spite, because I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I don't want any part of Chim Cheree making it out of the first round. I know that it will, but I want no part of it. We belong to look. Chim Cheree does not deserve to make it out of the first round. Holla at your boy.
Wow.
I am completely legit and sober. No, the clear mind and heart.
This is the easiest tiebreak ever. Chim Cheree makes it on. Up next, we have two very recent songs. Tarzan's You'll Be In My Heart by Phil Collins, and the one song you just can't get out of your head, Frozen's Let It Go.
'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart.
Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go.
So shouts out to Phil Collins. I'm actually a low-key Phil Collins fan, man. I want to go ahead and put that out there first. So understand that when I say Let It Go needs to advance, it's not because I'm throwing any shade at Phil Collins. There is no Senior Spite on this one. But here's one thing that you got to know about Let It Go. The reason I think Let It Go needs to move on is because Let It Go kind of transcended just being a Disney song. Let It Go was one of the first songs that I heard played on popular stations, and I'm not just talking a pop station. I mean, I heard it on an R&B station, which was absolutely hilarious to me. But Debbie Lovato's version got played on an R&B station. So this song transcends the movie. I mean, there are a group of people who want this song to stand for their movement. You know, so I am totally on board with Let It Go going forward. Whoever sings it, you know, the code doesn't bother me anymore.
Tarzan is one of the movies that I am not intimately familiar with, which could be argued that it works for or against it. I know enough to know where You'll Be In My Heart fits into the song. And I think this is one of those where it's something that stands out as a song more than a part of a movie soundtrack. You know, you have to almost be reminded, if you're of a particular age, that, hey, that was in a movie, you know? What? No kidding, you know? And I'm with you, TJ. Phil Collins song here, everyone's a closet Phil Collins song fan. They either aren't willing to admit it,
or they don't know.
Or they just don't know yet. Holla at your boy. So what I'm trying to say is this. I'm with you. We may have our biggest injustice of the first round, possibly right here in having to say You'll Be In My Heart being shot down here.
Next we have, and this is just a personal thing, I can't believe that this song is an Oscar winner, but that just might be me. We have Man or Muppet from Disney's The Muppets versus their most recent Oscar winner, Remember Me from COCO.
Am I a man or am I a Muppet? Am I a Muppet? Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me.
You know, this is actually such a slaughter. I'm not even going to give the true breakdown of Remember Me as yet, because that is going to get Shark's House scuba diver deep when we break that song down. You know, Man or a Muppet, it almost feels like kind of a troll, but you hear how it gets, like the way it works out and flows, like, you know, it's funny, but there's little things in the music that remind you they're trying to make a point in here too. And like, it's not taking itself too seriously. Like, it gets to the point where the Man or Muppet, the first stanza, if you will, where it's focused on the human actor, right? And then like you get that first, or am I a Muppet? Am I a Muppet? That's when you know, like, it's serious, but I'm still trying to be funny here too, you know. And that whole vibe throughout the song, that it dances right on the edge of humor and serious, makes me okay that it won an Oscar. I asked the question, how did this win? But I'm still glad that it did. I mean, hey, the way I look at it, if Blame Canada can be an Oscar winner, anything is possible.
Well, it's not an Oscar winner.
Or a nominee, excuse me.
If I remember correctly, I think You'll Be in My Heart beat it.
I'm okay with that. The point is, like, the fact that Robin Williams on stage with a full bloody choir behind him performed it at the Oscars as a nominee says plenty. And Man or Muppet has no beef for me. Again, I wouldn't have picked it, but I ain't gonna beef at it.
Man or Muppet, that's cool. It's one of those songs where it's me versus myself. There's inner turmoil. No, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But remember me, if you know anything about that culture and what Coco was talking about, Remember Me is woven in completely into what that movie meant and what that movie stood for. So if I'm talking about Pinkies Up, the experience, this song is going to outweigh Man or Muppet just because of what it meant to the movie and then how powerful the song is. It's absolutely lovely.
And now that my pinky is lifted and I've taken my drink for experience, I'm going to add in one other gesture to show my appreciation for that take.
All right, next we have Beauty and the Beast from, spoiler alert, Beauty and the Beast.
Damn it, Demos.
Versus another beast, Monsters, Inc., If I Didn't Have You.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
I wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have.
Beauty and the Beast, man, for me is just one of those songs has just stood the test of time. It doesn't matter who is singing it, but granted, whenever I think about the song, I think about the original animated song, animated version, and yeah, it's just elegant. It's just elegant. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can just jam out to it if it's a Kids Bop version or if it's a Disney sing along, because they got those too, because of Let It Go. But so yeah, on this one, I'm gonna go with Beauty and the Beast.
So this is going to be my first application of my negative modifier. This song winning the Academy Award in and of itself to its own movie is a damn crime. There are many songs in it wildly better than this, and this is what won the award. No, hell no. On top of the fact that this is probably the single most overrated song on the list. That's not to say bad, folks. It's just overrated. Stand the test of time? Sure. With what? Okay, this is also one of those songs that's done a great disservice, by the way, in the remake. Oh, great. You slowed it down even further so I can fall asleep during it. And just to give some people about some time during it to give you the moments in it that we don't need. Okay? Leave the movie version if you're going to do any of those remakes like that. A Whole New World, another guilty version. We'll get to that later, I'm sure. This song, however, is also paired up against, ironically, a Monsters, Inc. song, which apparently Demos hates because he's going to put himself in position to twice burn one of the most underrated songs and productions, by the way, on the list here. I'm going to go against Beauty and the Beast on this one, knowing that Demos will break the tie, but I will have my dignity.
If I Didn't Have You. It's a forgettable song. The reason that Randy Newman won that award, and I'm going to tell you this right now, the reason he won is because he had been nominated a bajillion times and had never won. This was his, here you go. You didn't win for You Had a Friend in Me. You're winning for this. Congratulations. Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid versus Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas.
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
Wind versus Sea.
That was smooth. I like that. You know, I mentioned earlier that there is a song that loses a lot of steam because it doesn't have the visual component. Friends, here's your reveal. It's Under the Sea. Not again, don't get me wrong. This is still a good song. All of these songs are still good songs without question. Under the Sea, though, when I start to peel back the layers, it gets a little bit exposed. Now, one thing I'll give you, Demos, you want me to sing? Here's a few bars for you. I'm talking cheese, but I must admit the lyrics are joy. Holler at your boy, Under the Sea. Okay, there's your song. The lyrics are great. Unfortunately, the execution starts to fall flat beyond the visual element. The calypso beat's fun. It gets your body moving. It does the basics. It does enough to where it deserves to be an Oscar winner, but it does not deserve to ascend to the top of this place. Meanwhile, Colors of the Wind, and by the way, please don't even talk about the pop version they did alongside of it. Like many of the songs in Disney, it cheapened what happened in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Vanessa Williams version isn't as good as the film version. I agree.
Okay. Perfect. So with that in mind, the movie version is a very strong performance. You could even throw a message aspect in. What am I doing? What's wrong with me? You could throw this aspect in there.
Message.
But also it's well executed. It's slow with a little bit of motion in there. It's fantastic. Small negative modifier for not being the best song in the movie, but that's okay because the bar is much higher for the music in this movie. I got Pocahontas moving on here with Colors of the Wind.
With this one, I have to decide, do I want to go with the wind or do I want to go to the shark's house? And I'm going to say a line from the song to let you know it gets a lot better when it's wetter, Under the Sea. So on this particular one, I got to show love to Sebastian, man. I mean, look, I don't know if I'm doing this to disagree with Kyle as much as I am. Like, I honestly think that Under the Sea it's a catchy song.
It is
that sticks with you. And I got no shade thrown at Pocahontas. You know, I've seen the Wolf Cry to the Newborn Moon, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. You know, like I got all the love in the world for Pocahontas, but Under the Sea, man, it's just there's a joy. I'm going to take that into effect when I say that Under the Sea needs to move forward, and I never want to go to the shark's house.
They're both good songs. The lyrics of Colors of the Wind, though well-meaning, I think are a little clunky in how they fit the messages within the actual song play. Under the Sea, everything. Not only are the lyrics engaging, it keeps taking turns. It turns into a seafood rap song pretty much halfway through. It's enjoyable as hell. Very, very different from many of the other Disney song classics that came before it, and also typical because the fun song won the award instead of the love song or the inspirational I want song or so forth. This was one of the times where the Oscar just said, you know, we're going to give it to that joyous song.
Like it should have done with Gaston. Great example. No, and let me ask this question too. Like Sebastian talks about being fricasseed and all this. Never mentions the concept that you could be eaten by another fish in the song. I think that's a little bit of fake news and propaganda, but I still don't blame you for picking Under the Sea here.
We've been Under the Sea. Now we're Wishing Upon a Star from Pinocchio versus the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
Welcome aboard, TTA travelers. Whether you're a humanoid, a robot, or an alien passenger, we hope you enjoy your trip along Tomorrowland Transit Authority's Super Skyway.
You know, it's interesting that you picked a pairing that involves crickets. Jiminy Cricket sings When You Wish Upon the Star, and when you make jokes about the People Mover, all I hear are crickets. I'll let you, boy.
You son of a bitch. I happen to know that Disney has state-of-the-art pest control. I have never once heard a cricket in Walt Disney World. I know it's a bit of a reach, but I'm wishing upon a star. Anyway, TJ.
Oh, yeah, strong finish.
So I want to give a strong, valiant effort for the People Mover.
No, you don't.
If you haven't seen it already, this is me and Kyle at the People Mover. I wrote the People Mover. I didn't know what it was when I first heard the People. I know what it is now. I wrote it. It is so much fun. I love it. It was exhilarating.
Let me
I
sound.
literally
I'm a
had
few
to keep my heart from beating out of my chest. Like,
It's an
it
exciting
was
10 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh. Like the picture that they got of me while we were on the People Mover, I can't even post it because it is so embarrassing how riveted I was. Now, we're gonna ease on over to which look, that's the Disney song. That is the Disney song. How do you vote against the Disney song? Like, this is Disney's anthem. This is their mission statement. How do you vote against the mission? You don't. So, Wish Upon a Star goes forward.
We have Sooner or Later from Dick Tracy, sung by Madonna, versus A Whole New World from Aladdin.
Sooner or later you gonna be mine. Sooner or later you gonna be mine. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view.
I like Dick Tracy. Like, that's one of those movies, like, I don't mind watching if I see it on. If I see Dick Tracy on, I don't mind watching it all. Shouts to Warren Beatty. But we're talking specifically about the song. I thought that the song was the best thing that Breathless Mahoney did in the film. But when you compare that to Aladdin, yeah, A Whole New World all day, man. I mean, that's just one of those, like, that was a collabo. That was the Aladdin and Jasmine. They sang together, like, the whole thing. They took me on a magic carpet ride in the song. It served its purpose. So while Breathless did her job south of the border, Aladdin's going to get the advance.
Well, first of all, the thing that's going to hit A Whole New World real hard is it ain't the best song in its own movie. If you're going to tell me about a fun song that should have gotten an Academy Award nomination, why in the flying hell is Friend Like Me not here? That is probably the single biggest crime of that sort that you described earlier, Demos. That isn't a thing. Sure, I make jokes over here about Gaston. Listen, I know it doesn't deserve an Academy Award. It's just a good song. Don't tell me that ain't true of Friend Like Me. And if you do, guess what? Here's news. You're wrong. And it's not close. And there's other music in that movie that's better than A Whole New World. But again, the bar is set much higher in that movie.
Friend Like Me was nominated.
It should have won. The only big crime would come a number of years later when Wilson the volleyball was completely snubbed.
Okay.
Best supporting actor.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You're mentioning facts. You're right.
No fake news in this one, bitches. Woo! No, but I say all that to say, I think, and I'm with TJ, Dick Tracy, I feel like was a movie of a lot of missed opportunities. I get why it's frustrating. Shouts to Al Pacino as Big Boy Caprice. Easily the single best acting job in that movie, in my opinion.
And we have to mention Dick Van Dyke.
How can
you make a movie called Dick Tracy without Dick Van Dyke?
That's a spin I hadn't considered. I'll let you slide. So that being said, I think that Sooner or Later is a better song overall, and it's easily a good song, maybe the best song in its movie, whereas A Whole New World was not. So yeah, I got Sooner or Later. I'm probably going to get outvoted, but I'm okay with it.
I'm going to take much glee in this, but before we go on, I should point out to anybody who's asking, wait, Dick Tracy is a Disney film? It was released by Touchstone Pictures, which is owned by Disney, and it's one of those old Touchstone releases that has become more associated with the brand now, in the same way that Roger Rabbit and Nightmare Before Christmas have been. So we're throwing it in here. Most people do. I think it's also appropriate that a film with so many dicks would have a character named Breathless, played by Madonna. I think it goes hand in hand.
Damn it.
In its own way.
Hand in hand, really?
Yeah. So I know that we're gonna be talking a little bit more about A Whole New World later on.
No,
because it's moving forward. Our last matchup of round 1, we have Song of the South's Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah versus The Lion King's Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, zip-a-dee-ay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day.
Can you feel the love tonight? The peace the evening brings.
This one right here is two songs that can arguably be that there's an argument made for both of them going forward. Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, I Gotta Show Love to Uncle Remus, man. And then you look at Elton. But, man, that's tough. I'm going to go with Uncle Remus, man. Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, bro. Like, that one right there. You're talking about that song came out before time. And it's still, to this day, Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah is that song, man. I mean, we've all, at some point in time, hummed that song and not known where it was from. Now that I know, it doesn't change how I feel about the song. The song got love. Yeah, Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah deserves, in my opinion, to move forward. But this is tough. It's reluctant because I love Sir Elton. Like, I would love to hang out with that dude. But nah, I'm sorry. I got to pick one.
Kyle.
Hey, listen, I have no problem with you dealing with the head of the gay mafia, according to Will and Grace. No problem with that. But to include him in your analysis, sir, is, in my opinion, incomplete with the spirit of the contest. So this is a lot easier for me because I don't have Sir Elton in the mix at all, and he's the only thing that makes this notable in the case when you're battling against Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah. It's Zip-a-Dee-Damn-Doo-Dah all Dippity-Doo-Dah day, bitches. Are you kidding me right now? Can we be absolutely clear? Again, we are in a situation where Can You Feel the Love Tonight is not even the best song in its own Fireball movie.
For once, I'm going to agree. Well, I'm moving forward to my laughing place here as we get to round two. Chim Chim Cheree versus Let It Go.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheree.
Let it go, let it go.
It kind of hurts me that I'm going to give Senior Spite exactly what he wants, you son of a bitch. Who are you?
I'm Senior Spite.
I know exactly who you are. Damn you. But I had to holler at you for that one. It was funny. No, but listen, Chim Chim Cheree is a great song. It ain't Let It Go. Okay. Chim Chim Cheree is it did set the groundwork. It is a foundation for what many Disney songs could kind of become. Let It Go is in its own stratosphere, folks. There's a reason why she sings that song on the top of a damn mountain, and she still fills the alpine space. That sounds like a metaphor. It's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is this: Let It Go moves on. And as far as, our dude Tokeo Jamison's spite against Mary Poppins, in this episode, after this round, he can let it go. Holla at your boy.
All right, you heartless monster.
Yeah, man. This heartless monster still has no heart, man. There's an icebox where my heart used to be. If I'm going to say I'm not even going to mention Mary in this one. I'm just going to say, I can't hold it anymore, so I'm going to let it go. I'm going to shut the blinds and close the door. Like, I'm changing the lyrics up. Let It Go's got to move forward on this one, man.
Next up, this is gonna make you very happy, Kyle, or it's gonna make you really pissed off. I'm curious.
Here we go.
Remember Me from Coco versus Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Remember me.
Beauty and the Beast.
Remember Me beats the ever-loving cheese out of the song, and it's not close. Anyone who thinks so just was not affected by it by me, and I can't hold it against them for that. I can just feel sorry for their soul that they did not absorb what I did from the song, and I'm going to break it down later.
Remember Me versus Beauty and the Beast. Angela Lansbury, my chick, man. I would spend quality time with Murder, She Wrote, no lie. But at this particular time, I got to go Remember Me.
Whether we're going under the sea or above and beyond, When You Wish Upon a Star, we have Pinocchio versus The Little Mermaid.
Under the sea, under the sea.
When you wish upon a star.
First off, I'm gonna let y'all know a little bit of information about myself. The first time I watched Pinocchio, I couldn't actually watch it. I closed my eyes because I am afraid of marionettes. I have not seen Pinocchio all the way through. But
It's a Disney horror film. It really is.
I mean, look, it is what it is. It scared my 7-year-old ass. I can't go against the mission statement. I can't go against the mission. Wish Upon a Star is the mission. So as far as I'm concerned, that's got to go forward. It will eventually meet its maker, but for right now, it ain't it.
This is going to throw people off, especially how I opened with what happens when I peeled away the layers of Under the Sea. TJ mentions When You Wish Upon a Star being the mission statement. That's all great. I'm a little bit more results based than that. I like to see the execution and how it looks when you do achieve that, and to celebrate that, because that's a moment that should be celebrated. And the lyrics to Under the Sea are precisely that. The problem for me is whenever I hear When You Wish Upon a Star, I feel like it's still coming out of one of those ham radios in someone's living room. You know, like that's how far back it goes. The foundation argument is something that Demos has beaten me over the head with. And if he does it here, I won't hold it against him. I'm going to go Under the Sea here and let Demos decide the fate as the true Disney fan in the room.
I see what TJ's saying with the mission statement, but it's not a song that was designed as a mission statement. It was a song that was adopted as said mission statement. And you can argue that.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can argue that one way or the other. I there's no wrong answer there. I mean, its melody is timeless. Its melody persists. And I can see why it has become one of those songs that has lasted for so long. In the same way that some of the other songs that we've gone back and forth here have gone on as long as they have, and why they're so damn, let me think of that word, hummable. So, but my personal preference, the song that I would actually like to listen to, and anytime I listen to, I feel like I'm on that vacation I really want to take one day. Is Under the Sea. And since I do make some kick-ass beer battered fry fish, well, I'm gonna have to go with that. Under the Sea. I know, shocking. I'm going with that one.
So because you make the battered fish and go against the message of the song, you're gonna vote for it?
It just makes me hungry seeing all those fish.
The dude's got,
like I said before,
it's gonna be
better
fresh.
when it's wetter. It is better when it's wetter.
It's and you know where you get the best seafood? When you go to the shark's house and it's dancing.
Breathe easy now.
It's really yummy when it's in my tummy. Beer battered fish.
Plunder the sea. Anyway.
Yeah.
Plunder it.
That was great. That was a great tweet by you, by the way.
Walt Disney had a flair for some of these nonsense songs. If you think about Hi Diddly Dee, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, Chim Chim Cheree.
Hi hoes.
Hi.
Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah.
Exactly. I mean, you could say that it's a lot easier to write nonsense songs, but at the same time, to actually legitimately write one that sticks in your head, it takes a lot of talent, in my opinion. But moving on, we have A Whole New World versus Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah.
Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, zip-a-dee-ay.
Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah all day. Can we take this home, please? Listen. You want to know what A Whole New World is? When Uncle Remus is talking to me in the real world, and then just on a spin of a dime, he's singing to me in a freaking cartoon one. There's your whole new world, mother beep. Okay, that's all I'm telling you. And it's a better song, and it's the best song in its movie. And A Whole New World isn't. Next.
I take it that he said next and dropped the mic like that so I could just pick it up. And I'm not going to
disagree with me and be wrong. That's your right. It's okay.
No, man. No, man. Take 2 steps back, bruh.
What, I'm Paula Abdul now? Who are you?
I am Senor Spite.
No, you're not. It's eliminated.
Zippity-doo-dah. I retain rights to always be Senor Spite, but Zippity-doo-dah will definitely advance on this one, man. Look, I got love for Aladdin. Zippity-doo-dah's got to go for it, man. Uncle Remus all day.
in the final four, first matchup is Let It Go from Frozen versus Remember Me from Coco.
Let it go, let it go.
Remember me.
Now I actually have to look at the songs and what they're saying. Like, all right, so I'm taking the whole movie out of it. What it meant to its movie, I'm taking it out. Remember Me and that culture, once you are forgotten, that's a whole thing, and that's what that song is all about. Let It Go. That chick, man, she got some mental health issues she's trying to work through, some shame she's trying to work through. Hot dog, Demos, man. Give me 2 seconds.
You are not alone there, dude. I'm right behind you on this one.
Great, man. I like Remember Me. My kids love that song. To hear them singing it along with the movie is absolutely awesome. But then again, I can say the same thing for Let It Go, man. This is freaking tough, man. Remember Me.
So I struggle for this one for a very particular reason. I don't know that I've ever had an emotion evoked quite like this at all, even on this show before. You'll notice there's less comedy in my tone, although I will be telling a few jokes to cope with what I'm feeling right now. Let It Go is a sensation. This is the evolution to what a Disney song adopted by the pop universe was supposed to be. Like, it started to transition to sort of get it right with You'll Be In My Heart. Because in my opinion, the pop versions of so many songs were just bad. We went over it earlier. The if it's not Angela Lansbury singing The Tale as Old as Time, I want no part of it. If it's not Aladdin and Jasmine singing A Whole New World, I want no part of it. Elton John's version of Can You Feel the Love Tonight is good, but it's not even close to the same feel. In those instances, they were trying to bring in the big artist to draw you in.
Or you have a warthog singing, and then you have Elton John singing.
Yes. Well, first of all, the warthog isn't Seth Rogen, so that's already a plus. Shade thrown, deal. The punchline is this. Then they started to get the poppy songs more correct. I'm taking Moana out of this because this is that outlier that's kind of like Hercules in the Renaissance. It sucked, and so does the remake versions of both You're Welcome and How Far I'll Go compared to their movie counterparts, okay? That all being said, Let It Go and Remember Me were both done separately as non-movie songs, remakes played out on the radio, what have you. And Let It Go took over the airwaves. And it's not part of the discussion in the rating, but I think it's worth having that aside. Then it takes me to the next thing to try to separate these songs, the experience, the emotion. Obviously, they're both the best songs from their respective movies, although for a time, I kind of was leaning towards Love is an Open Door, but not having seen Coco yet, I couldn't accurately apply this modifier. Bringing me to then the emotion of these songs. The version that we hear of the movie performance demos, it has the sounds in there as well from the castle being built around her. Not to mention at this point, to be honest, if they weren't there, I'd still be picturing that. And I feel in myself when I hear that, we have started a separate project based on that song. So it moves the mountain in this general region right here. But then a couple days ago, in preparation for this song, I heard Remember Me for the first time. And of course, the first version here is what comes out of the movie. And it's something that's very genuine and very happy and is morosely comical at the end. And then they cut to another part of the movie where it's a touching thing. Guys, I hadn't heard this song before. I am sitting at my desk at work, and there were tears. I'm a strong enough to man to admit that I cried listening to that song. And this song is so arrogant in doing it that it says, try not to make you cry, or whatever the actual lyric is. It's telling me, don't try to cry, but I'm about to move you. For me to not pick this song to advance to the final four, I texted Demos leading up to this episode on Tuesday. If there's one song that does not make the final four, I'm going to throw a tantrum. and I have the strength to prevent that right now, so I'm going to do it. I got Remember Me.
We're letting go of letting go, but we're remembering. Under the Sea versus Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah.
Under the sea, under the sea. Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, zip-a-dee-ay.
I have mentioned what happens when you peel back the layer of Under the Sea, and I believe that Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah is 100% more complete. Under the Sea isn't the best song in its own movie because Poor Unfortunate Souls is greatness. But I'm not going to hold that against Under the Sea. Nonetheless, I have Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah. That's what it is for me.
Anybody who knows me knows I love Kyle. I ain't hear a word he said because I had Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah going on in my head just then, man. Like, I'm just sitting here, Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, Zip-a-Dee-Dah, my oh my.
You were in your laughing place.
I really was. And Kyle said words, and I didn't hear them. So I'm just going to assume that he voted, and I'll let you know it's going to be Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah. Look, it's definitely hotter under the water. I'm going to use this as another opportunity. It's definitely better when it's wetter, just outside the shark's house. Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah.
Yeah, well, now at this point, because we're done with it, it'll be gladder that you emptied your bladder.
Before we get to the final round, we're going to have a matchup for third place. Here we have Let It Go versus Under the Sea.
Let it go, let it go.
Under the sea, under the sea.
It may be better when it's wetter, but I could use the ice to take that wetness wherever I want it. I got Let It Go.
Sebastian, my dude, I voted for y'all to get dumped on round 2. Let It Go, absolutely jammed to that song myself. It's on my phone. I've sang it with my children with the windows down. My 6'5" self. With sunglasses on and a beanie.
Yo, I can
singing Let It Go at the top of my lungs because we can't hold it back anymore. So, yeah, Let It Go.
Okay, so Let It Go gets third place. And now for our championship round. I can honestly say that I wasn't expecting these two. I was secretly hoping for one. I'm not going to tell you guys which one it is. But this is kind of a surprise. We have COCO's Remember Me versus Song of the South's Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me.
Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, zip-a-dee-ay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day.
Listen, how I feel about Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah is an amazing thing. How I feel about Remember Me is even more so. I have Remember Me.
These are two very different songs.
They are.
Yeah.
They're two very different songs that have that carry weight for different reasons. I mean, we all just witnessed Kyle's face get wet when he was making reference to what it was like the first time he listened to Remember Me. I have songs that, I know if I play this song and turn it up as loud as I possibly can in my truck and have my beanie and my sunglasses on, I'm probably going to cry. Like that is a thing. It's a reoccurring thing in my truck, beanie and sunglasses. Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah is, dadgummit, I spit a little bit because I got a lot I want to say. I like that song. I like that we covered that movie. If you've ever lost anybody, even if you hadn't, but if you have, I think especially you, Remember Me plays a special place, man. So I think, Remember Me deserves the love on this one, bro. Remember Me. and Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah gets a strong honorable mention and congratulations. But Remember Me definitely deserves a nod.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me.
I think that if I were to have to break that tie, I would have asked myself two questions. Which one would I rather hear Angela Lansbury sing? Thinking back, her rendition of Under the Sea would have been epic, but nevertheless.
Under the Sea.
I don't know, man. Angela Lansbury doing Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, man. Her voice, I think she'd make it pop.
This is where the critic in me comes into play, however. I would have gone with Remember Me solely because the evolution of that song plays an important role in the storytelling and the plot and the underlying theme that makes Coco what it is. You lose the meaning and the placement of that song in that film, you lose the heart of what that film is. It's not a song that's there just to evoke an emotion. It is the heart of the film. That alone would have given Remember Me the edge. So, highly recommend Coco. If you haven't seen Coco, see Coco.
I'll get on it.